Now, I think when you look at this, when you go back to the Scriptures, you see why the Scripture was saying this 3,000 years ago. For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. Psalm 139, verse 13. In fact, Psalm 139 is a great psalm, the whole psalm, talking about God's providence. God knits people together. Now, just to give you another dose of this, in living things, this is known as the bacterial flagellum. It's a microscopic outboard motor that propels bacteria. You see this little thing right here? That little thing is so small, the motor is so small that you could lay 35,000 of these things end to end in a millimeter. And this little motor here runs at an incredible 100,000 revolutions per minute. And it can stop in a quarter turn and go the other way at 100,000 revolutions per minute. And this thing is irreducibly complex, which means you can't get this kind of propulsion for the bacteria without having all of these parts in place at one point at the same time in working order, all functioning together. In other words, it doesn't appear you can build this thing gradually. Like the evolutionists say, we all got here gradually. How are you going to get this thing gradually? It's a motor. It's an engine. Look at this thing. You see all the words that are used here? It's got a propeller. It's got a rotor. It's got an S-ring, an M-ring. It's got a stator. It's got a hook, a universal joint. This is the language of engineering. And this is inside cells. This is just one aspect. The intelligent design movement has called this basically their mascot. Where does this thing come from? It can't be built gradually, and the evolutionists are trying to figure out a way it could be built gradually, but they're not succeeding. In fact, for those of you who were here a few months ago when Jim Wallace was here, the cold case homicide detective, he talked about this. He talked about the type 3 secretion system and all this. I won't get into the details now, but it doesn't work. This thing right here is irreducibly complex, and it seems to be built by a mind. In fact, there's a whole area of science called biomimetics. Anyone heard of this, biomimetics? Biomimetics is the science of studying nature so we can build better machines. In other words, you study how nature does it and you go, man, this is really good. Can we mimic that? And we can't build what nature has already built. We can't build it. Think about a microscopic outboard motor, 35,000 per millimeter, 100,000 revolutions per minute. It's unbelievable. Now, last time we talked about Stephen Meyer in his book, Signature in the Cell, that there's information in a cell. We also talked a little bit about his book, Darwin's Doubt, which deals with the fact that the fossil record seems to indicate creation rather than evolution, instantaneous creation. But I want to take you back to this book, Signature in the Cell. This is a short little 3-minute video. The details are technical, but I don't care about the technical details. The only thing I want you to get from this as you watch this, does this appear to be a goal-directed process? Okay? This is what's going on in your cells through your DNA, through your program. So check this out. Again, the details aren't important.